Charting Toward Intimacy covers mature topics. Listener discretion is advised. If you are having trouble reaching orgasm, I have one super simple, crazy effective tip that I want to talk to you about in this week's episode. Welcome to Charting Toward Intimacy, the sex and intimacy podcast for Catholic women. My name is Ellen Holloway, and I'm a Catholic speaker and coach who specializes in sex and marital intimacy, and I am on a mission to help you actually enjoy and desire good, holy sex with your spouse. So I want to talk a little bit about orgasm and about one super simple thing that you might be doing wrong, which is what is hindering you from experiencing orgasm, and that is breathing. You might be holding your breath. When we hold our breath, it actually tenses up our muscles and it makes it impossible for us to really relax and receive the sexual pleasure that exists in orgasm. And so when we are like kind of getting close to orgasm, building up that sexual tension, we need to be breathing through it. And it is actually surprisingly easy to forget to breathe. And I think a lot of times we're so focused, especially if it's something that you're really trying for right now. You're really trying to get to orgasm. You and your husband are maybe working on a lot of different things. You're trying different positions. You're trying different ways of stimulation. Like you might be focusing on a lot of different things, especially as you're like building that sexual tension and you're kind of moving along on the arousal curve. And so when we're focusing on all these things, it can be so easy to just forget to breathe. And your body needs you to breathe in order for orgasm to be possible. Like it's 100% a necessary thing. So next time that you're getting close to orgasm, I want you to think, am I breathing? Am I actually breathing? Here's the thing. Breathing helps our body to regulate and relax. We have to be in a relaxed state in order to receive sexual pleasure. We cannot receive sexual pleasure in a tensed state. It doesn't work that way. So breathing actually just like throughout your sexual encounter can be crazy, crazy helpful. And there's a lot of different ways that we can think about this breathing. So, and this is something I talk about in my painful sex course, is we talk about breathing and how breathing can help reduce the tension that might be causing painful sex. But even beyond that, even if you're not having any pain during sex, if you're not breathing properly, you could be like completely hindering your ability to experience sexual pleasure. So, a couple of different things that we can think about. One is you can actually focus on a specific breathing technique, like something like 4-4-6 breathing or box breathing. 4-4-6 breathing is where you breathe in for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, and then you breathe out for a count of 6. Box breathing is where you breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, out for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, in for a count of 4, right? So you're like sort of making this box. It's all even. These ways of breathing are extremely good for regulating the nervous system. So if you are feeling tight, if you're feeling tense, if you're feeling worried, like it's really, really good to do those breathing. Now, where this breathing might not be helpful is that you really have to think about this breathing, right? You have to count in your head as you're breathing. And this might not be super helpful, right? Like leading up to those moments before orgasm and like through orgasm, because we don't want to be focusing so much on breathing in for 4, holding for 4, out for 6. You know, we want to be able to just like let go and release and just receive. And so where that like box breathing, that 4-4-6 breathing can help us kind of maybe in the initial stages, maybe to help prepare ourselves for sex. It might help during foreplay to really relax our body and get ourselves into the moment. as we get closer to orgasm, as that arousal curve starts building, we really just want to be breathing deeply. And so just making sure that we're not just taking like these shallow breaths, definitely making sure that you're not just holding your breath, because that's going to make it impossible to orgasm at all. But just make sure that we are breathing normally. It doesn't have to be deep breaths. It doesn't have to be fast breaths. And it doesn't have to be according to any kind of account, but just make sure that you are in fact breathing in and out. Breathing in through your nose is best, out through your mouth. But don't dwell on it too much. I think sometimes we can get an idea in our head as women and we just kind of spin on that idea and we dwell on it too much. And we're like, am I breathing properly? Am I not? Just make sure that you're breathing in and out. Don't worry about counts. Don't worry about all that kind of stuff as you're getting like closer to that orgasm. Just make sure that you are not actually just holding your breath, clenching up your body. Just take a deep breath. Thanks so much for listening. If you're ready to stop feeling confused or discouraged about sex and finally understand how God designed your body for real, beautiful pleasure, you need to check out the Orgasm course for Catholic women. I'll teach you the tools and the mindset you need to experience the intimacy you were made for, all deeply rooted in Catholic Church teaching. Head over to vinesandfullbloom.com/orgasm and I'll see you inside.